everyone, welcome back to another video, and in this video you are going to discover how you can reconstruct your life anew by following this simple method that I'm going to be explaining in this video. So let's get right to it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to discover the fact that in order to change your life, in order to change the ways of living that you're currently bound by, you have to monitor how your behavior, your habits and your attitudes are currently expressing in this outer world, which means that you having the knowledge to realize the fact that there are some things you need to change about yourself. And once you discover that there are some things you need to change about yourself, you are going to take those necessary steps in order to make those defining changes in your life. Find out what is it that is blocking you currently from experiencing those higher realities, which means what is it that your attitude, your habits and your behaviors are contributing to, and which is not letting you experience the possibilities that there could be for you. So all you require is a small change for a great life. The changes that are required from you are gonna be essential for your growth, because if nothing changes, then nothing changes. So in order to change something, you have to first be willing to change something about yourself. You have to be a willing applicant in self-development, because self-development requires your willingness to actually transform a behavior or an attitude or an habit that are currently set in motion for you, and you're not able to realize that the momentum of those habits and attitudes and behaviors is what is creating your reality and even distress in your life, even to the point where you feel the fact that this is something that could probably be a block in your life. Like, you cannot realize it because you cannot separate yourself from the identity that you're currently in. So in order to realize that, you're going to have to start developing yourself to realize the fact that you can propel your life to a higher understanding by just figuring out the fact that this is something that is bothering me for a long time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take an action step, a step which is practically going to help me to maybe not make a massive change, but that 1% improvement will still make a difference in my life, because that 1% improvement done on a consistent basis will eventually have that power to change the ways that you're currently living. And from that, you will realize the fact that your current ways of living, how you have been living now, were keeping you bound to a life that you did not like. And in order to help us to see what we can become, we have to become enthusiastic about something. Whatever recreational activity that we have chosen for ourselves, that is exactly what we need to keep following and keep loving the process of that, because what that does is the more we enjoy our recreations, the more enthusiastic we become in life. Once you have actually incorporated enthusiasm in you, then what happens is that from that enthusiasm comes life in you, that it gives you more power to actually change your reality, because that enthusiasm is going to build up momentum for you to actually see things that you could not see from a place where you were before. So enthusiasm plays an important role, and it's also been said by a great author that the presence of enthusiasm in us is equivalent to the presence of God in us. Because if there's enthusiasm, then there is life, and where there's life, there is the presence of God. So God, in a way, works through what you currently are not cultivating. So why not you cultivate those things that could actually propel the presence of something higher in your life? And that higher really is what is wanting you to actually choose it rather than it choosing you. So why don't you choose what it wants for you? So it wants for you to actually develop your enthusiasm. It requires you to be the best in your life. Every experience that we go through is requiring us to develop ourselves to the point where we can actually become tougher while facing those challenges. And that's what life is all about. Remember that fortune favors the prepared mind. And if your mind is not prepared, if you do not prepare yourself for difficulties, if you do not prepare yourself for things in your life that have already either have drained your energy, or currently draining your energy, or have currently put you in a state where you probably feel miserable about yourself, then what's going to happen is you will never be able to realize that it's ability, that your prepared mind has the capacity to overcome anything. And if you do not prepare your minds for what is there for you, then eventually you will live a very average life, probably a very mediocre life, and that mediocre life will not carry any value for you. People will not find respect for you because you have not allowed your gifts to grow. You have not developed yourself. I'm certain about this one thing, that if you put enough effort in changing your abilities, if you put enough effort in making things happen for yourself, then you are on the track of really experiencing more joy that we're always trying to push towards a better feeling, a greater feeling that we can have about life. And the feeling that we can get must come from within us, and we should not seek outwards to fulfill us. We can take advice, we can get inspired from the world outside, but eventually everything that you need to do, you have to do it for yourself. That the reward for continuously developing yourself has been known in history by such great people that have lived through and who have literally poured out their hearts with the words and the messages that you see everywhere nowadays in self-help books. So why not go ahead and probably absorb our minds with those words that people have literally written for you? Because everything that we become, we also have the potential to actually extrapolate from us, that it can literally be given out in a way that comes from love. It's basically self-love. Self-love is literally you being better than yourself on every single day. Every single day you're being better than yourself is loving yourself. It's proving to yourself that I'll do everything that is in my power to change my life. Because see, you cannot control outside circumstances, but you can control everything that is there inside you. Because what matters most in situations when you are being faced with difficulty is the fact that when you do not have the capacity to challenge those situations, then you become weaker and weaker. And there's a great quote in the Bible that says that he that hath shall be given, he that hath not, that which he has shall also be taken away. That's a very ruthless quote, but it means that if you develop courage, if you develop discipline, if you develop consistency, if you develop those qualities in you, if you develop yourself to the point where you are continuously being better than yourself, if you develop confidence in you, if you develop enthusiasm in you, then more shall be provided. Then there's going to be more given in you. And vice versa. If let's say that something that is happening in your life, you're treating it as something because you're a victim. If you act like a victim, if you act helpless, if what's going to happen is eventually you'll only feel weaker and weaker, and eventually you'll fall into a pit. And trust me, hell is a bottomless pit. Jordan Peterson has said it, and it really means something that we could probably do, which could make hell even worse. So why not take the opportunity to develop qualities in you that could actually bring you out of situations that you feel terrible in being in. And I know some things you cannot change, but the only control, the only power that you have is you. You can only control yourself. There's nothing else you can control. You cannot control people. You cannot control the experiences that come upon you. But if you change yourself, the experiences that are external will eventually change for you, because that is the law. That it is the law of the universe to give you that which you are. So you must become that which you are. So your identity is something that needs to change. So you have to always remember the fact that your identity is what is going to help you change your reality. And if you, let's say you want to lose weight. So if you're overweight, you have to ask the question that what would a lean guy do What would a lean guy eat? What would a lean guy do on a regular basis? You have to literally get into that state where you are continuously thinking what a person who is healthy would do. You have to think on the lines of the person who is actually above you. So it goes without saying that no matter what, you have to constantly keep redefining yourself. Redefinition means in all ways, in your health, in your finance. If you want to be rich, if you want to get rich, you have to change your identity, earn more money. What would a rich guy do? How would a rich guy behave? How would a rich guy tip someone? Even if you're making just enough money to get by, you have to prepare yourself for the outcome that you're desiring. So remember the fact that in order to reconstruct our lives, we have to completely take responsibility for ourselves. We have to take responsibility for where we are and where we want to go and where we want to lead. So start with 1% improvements each day, and eventually you'll get better on a regular basis. And once you keep doing that for a long time, eventually you'll have a breakthrough. And once you get a breakthrough, that's when you'll have more space, more freedom, more things that you can give then from that place. So always remember the fact that you are constantly bombarded with the things that are for you and that are not for you. So if you just start to eliminate the things that are not for you, if you just start realizing the fact that this is not for you or that thing is not for you, then that's how you're going to know what is really for you. And it's more about elimination than adding on to what you are right now. It's more about eliminating what you currently have accumulated all this while with whatever knowledge that you believed it was true. So your beliefs will eventually change once you start eliminating what is not for you. And that's a great way to develop yourself, because once you realize that this is not for me or that is not for me, then eventually things will become more clear to you. You'll have better understanding, and the more you allow yourselves to drop the things that are constantly stressing you out, that's constantly taking away from you your ability to see life from a higher understanding. In order to see clearly, you're going to have to rise to a level where you have to drop the weight to fly higher, to really propel yourself upwards. You're going to have to drop the weight that you're carrying with whatever it is, with all the bullshit that you keep telling yourself about. Drop the words, drop the language that you keep telling yourself about. You have to become conscious of that language that you are speaking to yourself, because those words are creating your reality and you are unconsciously not even realizing what's happening in your life. So drop the words, drop the weight, because eventually it is something that is required. Elimination is what brings more clarity in you, and that clarity is then going to help you to see what needs to be changed, what needs to be altered, what needs to be configured, what needs to come now for you. The opportunity that you have been always wanting will come when you let go of your shit, when you let go of the bullshit that you've been feeding to yourself. So become that person. If you want to reconstruct your life like in the best way possible, then start dropping shit that you do not like. Start dropping the things that you do not want in your life. Like the people, just drop the people. If you're always hanging around with people that just want to drink with you and that just want to party with you, then literally you have to drop those people, because you realize the fact that if you only have friends because they drink and they smoke or they party with you, then you're going to have to realize the fact that there's nothing else you can do with them. If there's nothing else you can do with them, then they are literally a burden to you, because eventually you need only them when you are really happy about something. So how can you be happy about something when you know that your life is shit? When you know that your life has not been where it needs to be? If you don't become the best in what you do, then you are obviously being distracted by things that are not essential in your life. You have to cut those people out of your life. You have to get new people who think like you, who want to grow like you, who want to be like you. And once you begin to start doing those things, that's when you'll see real change coming in your life. So become a person who can change and eliminate. Eliminate, change. Remember, if I'm filling you with information, it's not going to get filled up inside you until you empty the cup that you are currently already so consumed with. So first empty the cup, empty your cup, empty your cup. Lose the distractions. Let the distractions go. Let them go. Let them fall out. Let them just fall out. Like, you don't need it. You don't need the distractions. You do not need people that distract your time. You do not need people that distract you from what you want to achieve. You do not need that. So drop the bullshit that you keep telling to yourself, that this is not enough, I am not enough, this is not something that is right happening in my life. You're literally allowing yourself to always be in that state where something needs to first be good in order for you to actually change that. It's never going to happen. You're going to have to change yourself first for things to actually change in your life. Nothing is going to change in your life unless you begin the development process, and self-development is the way to actually lead your life. And if you are not living a conscious life, if you're not living a life that could help you become the best version of yourself, then you are living a false life. You're living a life that is a lie, and that lie will always put experiences in your life that will come to manipulate you even more. So it's like a bottomless hell. Your life could be a bottomless hell, and you wouldn't even realize it. You wouldn't even realize it. So start becoming aware of what or who you allow in your life, and start looking into what needs to be done to reconstruct your life. And once you do that, the whole world belongs to you. Everything in the world could be yours, but you have to have that ability, that power in you to really see through the bullshit of what you keep telling yourself. So I'm going to see you in my next video, and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos just like this. Thank you so much.